Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to tackle another cornerstone of networking, which is routing. Sounds complex, but don't worry, we're going to simplify it and have some fun along the way. Just like before, we're going to use a golden circle approach to break it down, starting with why is routing essential, how does it work, and finally, what steps can you take to understand it better. Let's get started. First of all, why is routing important? Now imagine yourself planning a road trip. Now you've got a destination in mind, but how do you figure out the best way to get there? You don't want to hit every single stoplight or detour, right? Well, routing in computer networks is kind of like that. It's like how data, like in our road trips, gets from one place to another, choosing the best path to avoid the delays. Now, the purpose of routing is simple. Make sure that your data gets from point A to point B as quickly as possible and as efficiently as possible. Now, without routing, your message would be wandering the internet like a lost traveler, and nobody really wants that. So how does routing actually work? See, imagine each device or network is like a city on a map. And the routers are traffic directors at the key intersections. Every time the data or our car arrives at one of these intersections, the routers decides which road or network path the car should take next. Now, these are routes. How does the routes get installed into the routing table? How do routers even know the best network path to take? This is where routing comes in, or the routing tables comes in. It's like router's GPS telling it where each packet of data should go. Now the routers get installed, or the routes get installed into the routing table three ways. First, by directly connected routes. When a router connects directly to a network, it knows automatically about it. It adds this information into the routing table instantaneously. It's like, okay, I know where my house is on the map. Now, if you're using a VPN or a virtual private network, the tunnel interface created by the VPNs also show up as directly connected routes. Now, the router sees the VPN tunnel like another road that it can send data through. So, in the sense, your VPN makes it feels like you're directly connected to that remote network, even when the data is traveling through a secure tunnel. That's a very important concept to remember. Second is your static routes. Sometimes routes are manually added by the network administrator like us. Think of this like setting up a preferred road in your GPS manually because you know that it's faster or more reliable. These routes stays fixed unless manually somebody changes them. The third and not the last one is the dynamic routing protocols. For larger networks, routes use dynamic routing protocols like RIP, OSPF, EIGRP, or BGP to automatically learn about new routes from other routers. It's like getting live traffic updates on your GPS, helping the router always choose the best path. So the routing table gets updated through these methods, ensuring the routers always know how to get your data to its actual destination. Now, switching process within routers, very important concept. Let's talk about switching. While routers use routing tables to decide where to send that data, switching handles how does that data get forwarded out the next exit or the next interface. Now, how does this work? See, routers first check the destination IP address of an incoming data frame. It that consults the routing table and sees, okay, figure out where the next hop is. Once the next hop is decided, the switching process moves the data packet from that incoming interface to the outgoing interface, ensuring that it gets to the right road. But keep in mind, the switching process in routers is different from what happens at layer 2 devices, like regular network switches. Routers switch at layer 3 using IP addresses to forward data, while switches operate at layer 2 using MAC addresses to forward Ethernet frames. So routers make decisions based on IP, while the switches are focused on forwarding data within the same local network using the MAC addresses. Now, what can you do to understand routing better? So how does this apply to you? Well, see, next time you're working on a network, here is what you should do. Number one, know your destination IP address. Every piece of data has a destination. So you need to make sure that your routers can find the best path to it. Second, choose the right routing protocol. If you're dealing with a small network, RIP might be enough. For larger or more complex networks, go for OSPF or EIGRP. BGP depending on if you're using an external routing protocol. Third and the most important, monitor traffic. Just like avoiding the rush hour, you want to keep an eye on your network traffic. Tools like Traceroute can help you see how the data is moving through your network hop by hop. And just like in real life, the road might not always be clear. But with the right routing, you get your data to its destination smoothly every time. Now you know why routing is important. So how routers make decisions? The routes get installed into the routing table, including VPNs, and you know how switching in routers helps get the data into the right place while being different from how layer 2 switches work. Understanding routing doesn't have to be complicated. Just think of it as navigating the internet highway system completely. Now in our next video, we're going to dive into switches and explore how they work. So hopefully understand that key differences between routers and switches. So thanks for watching, and don't forget, see you in the next one. Bye for now.